Hello, parents, and welcome to this walkthrough of this week's Google Classroom activities. And I'm actually going to jump to, just keep the same pattern here. I'll jump to 5th grade first. Okay, click. There we go. And hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a great Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, you wonderful mothers. And I hope that you enjoyed a relaxing afternoon and evening and morning and everything with your family. And let's go ahead and talk about some information items here. And we have in our class or classes, we have some students doing the packet, which the district provides, or some parts of the packet, and some doing Google Classroom. Now I acknowledge there's the math is in the packet, and I have assignments here that some of them you might say, well, why is my child doing the packet and this? Well, just do the math or whatever it is that's not covered here. So here in our Google Classroom, we're only doing 5 things. There's PE, we have social studies, science, writing, and Spanish verbs. And in the packet, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we have writing, PE, and math, and there's some English language development, and then some other things. The packet will not have Spanish activities, and so if you are doing packets, your kids are doing packets, you'll probably want to do something else with Spanish, either Spanish reading or Duolingo or something, or do a mixture of the two. Now I acknowledge the challenges of using the technology, especially with kids, and sometimes their tendency to go and click on other things that might be interesting. So I don't know if I have a great answer for that. If you are at home, that's great, and they can maybe do it close by you, like in the living room or the dining room. But if you're at work, I get it, and so I understand that's the benefit of the packet is, especially. If you are not getting the Google Classroom emails, there's usually weekly emails, depending on what you signed up for. If you are not getting those summaries, please let me know. Please email me. My email is jmills@fuesd.org. And you should be getting summaries of what the students have completed. Now, if you think you got that invitation, and I did send out invitations to the email addresses I had on file. If you think you got that invitation and you're like, it's in my email somewhere, I think you can probably just search your inbox for Google Classroom. That's probably the best bet, or Mr. Mills or something like that. So, and I would have sent it a couple months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. I'm not sure, but it was a while back, probably 2 months ago, maybe March, maybe February. All right. I do recommend you have your kids share your work with you. I know that sometimes kids can get a little bit distracted sometimes, and they might say, "I'm finished with my work," just so they can go on to something else. It just happens sometimes. Not all kids do that, but some kids. So, you know your child better than I do, and so. But I do recommend to say, hey, sweetheart, or big guy, will you show me your assignments? And so that will be good. I have some students skipping some steps, and they maybe just so they want, some kids want to just mark done, and when they're not actually finished. And a friend of mine sent me this visual, and I'll show it to you. And here is the visual. You have a student, and those are the representation of the steps to doing the Google Classroom assignments: reading the directions, watching a video, doing the worksheet, taking a picture of the worksheet, and attaching it to the assignment, and then marking done. And some kids are just jumping to done. So I've had conversations with some folks, and that's what I see happening in some cases. All right. I do want to make sure that you have your, one note. I encourage your students to read the directions on the assignments and before they dive into them. I do write those. All right, we have a policy of hold harmless. during this quarantine of time. If your child it has, whatever your child's performance is during this time, they pretty much get the same grade they had at the end of last trimester, whatever grade they had, but they could go up. So if they, through their work, show that they have mastered the material to a greater extent, then right on, you deserve a higher grade. Let's do it. But if they can't get a lower score or a lower grade. So, all right, I want to make sure you know my Google Voice number, and if you do receive a call from this, it's me, and that is the number, and it's going to come out as Barstow from Barstow, California. So please don't hang up. Please answer the telephone if you get that number, and save it as Mr. Mills. It's my district Google Voice number. All right, and let's see. I have a series of how I am having the kids do the assignments, and especially writing. There's a 4-week connection there, and it was started last week with a writing assignment on the battles of Lexington and Concord, and so there's going to be a continuation there this week, same theme. All right, I'll talk more about that when we get into that. But please have the kids just have you do your best, their best, and you guys do whatever you can with the circumstances you're in. I know you guys love your kids and want them to do great, and so just encourage them, and you coach them and help them as you can. But if the policy is right now, do the things to the best of their ability, and then you just kind of move forward. So we encourage you immensely. All right, so here we have an announcement by our good friend Mr. Estrada, who is our school counselor, and he is telling about the Student Mental Health Week. Great little Kahoot challenge there. So there you go. Here's an announcement. Of course, we had our Google Meet this morning, and let's see. Here is the video of the Google Meet. In case they missed it, here it is. Or in case they want to review. What did we talk about again? It's on YouTube. So that I hope is helpful. All right, here we go, and diving in. Okay, so we have 5 activities, and of course PE is the same as in previous weeks. I have the Coach Lopez resources here, and I have the Google form to them fill out the activities they did this week. 3 of them. Just write down 3 of the activities they did this week to exercise. Let's go ahead and show the pronoun se. And in Spanish, this is this is the pronoun we use for passive voice, and there's 2 different. It's impersonal se and passive se, and this sheet will help, of course, them to understand the concept. And the videos are excellent, and we'll give good examples, and they're kind of cool. So I hope they enjoy those videos. And Senor Jordan does a good job. And so those are 2 videos. These 2 sites right here will explain more, give more detail about it, written. The kids can review those things and say, okay, do I get it? And so on. These 2 are very helpful. These are going to be the quizzes, kind of little informal quizzes, like, hey, do I understand this this concept? And then this one is, of course, the passive se. Very similar, slight nuanced differences there. Vender las especias los lunes. Se venden las especias los lunes. Okay. The kids can, it'll give them feedback right away too. All right, and this is the quiz. At the end of everything this week of this, I want the kids to do this quiz, and that will help me to know, hey, did they get this? And help them to know, hey, am I on track? How I do? Okay, I think it's very fun. All right, so we talked about PE, and we talked about the pronoun se, and now we'll do the essay. Now, 4th and 5th grade will both do this essay. Like I mentioned briefly, we're on the theme of Lexington and Concord, the battles of the American Revolution. And these are the 3 articles which we introduced last week. Here are the instructions, and the focus, and I made sure it's very clear right there in the middle. They're going to give their opinion about the 2 people they think were most influential in the American victory in the battles of Lexington and Concord. And there's a nice review. We posted this one a few weeks back, and that's about writing a 5-paragraph essay. It's actually an opinion essay, the example they gave in here. All right, this organizer is one that they are familiar with. We use this in class, and they can use it on paper if they want to. Just take a picture of it and send it to me, please. And here is, they know what all these things mean. And in my Google Meet video, I go over this briefly, what this is all about. They can type into here too. There will be a button here that says turn in or submit. And so have them do that when they finish it. They'll submit this, even though they didn't do it maybe on the document here, but they can submit. They'll also submit these too. This is where they'll type their essay. And okay, all right, that's up there. It's the same thing as before. And this is a rubric. They'll use it as a checklist to see if they did all the things. And it's like we did last week. Going a little slow here. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's just, there we go. All right. Click those check boxes. All right. So we've got here Mills 5, and then so we'll look at this, those three that we just discussed. So PE, writing, and Spanish grammar. Those will be the same in 4th grade and 5th grade. 5th grade, you have here social studies, and you are learning about patriotic music and first explorations of the lands or the westward land. Now, I know they're two different topics because they're two different units. Unit 7 and then this is Unit 8. And they will learn about these patriotic songs like the Star Spangled Banner and America the Beautiful. They'll also learn about the westward exploration, Lewis and Clark expedition, and Sacagawea and York, and these three have a brief mention. And so these are the 6 videos that will help to reinforce those topics. Now, this right here, Liberty Kids, is a continuation of the kind of the series, of course, but it's historical fiction, and it reinforces and gives a context to the events of the American Revolution. And so I hope your kids like those. They're longer, but there's more recreational almost. Okay, this is the quiz. It gives me an idea if they've got it, and so on and so forth. Okay, now let's go into science. Here we are. Now, these are the activities for science, and they'll do this activity right here, and they'll do watch the videos, very fun videos. 2 of them are in Spanish, and then they'll do the quiz right here. Okay, but there we go. And I explain those more in detail in the Google Meet. All right, let's go ahead and look at grade 4. And we're just looking at here at first social studies. And here we go. Now, 4th grade, we're looking at the different levels of government, federal, state, and local. How are they different? What's the responsibility or the kind of the jurisdiction of the federal level and state and local? And we have some videos here that help reinforce that. And this is the quiz they'll do afterward. All right. And here we are. This is a review of sorts for 4th grade because they have already learned about energy efficient kind of systems, but this is hydroelectric energy. And the videos that are attached will help them to understand those. And this is their quiz. All right, I think that's everything. If you have any questions, please email me, jmills@fuesd.org, or please give me a call. The number on the screen, 760-282-4211. Please save it into your phone. All right, hope this is helpful, and I look forward to hearing from you, and have a great week.